just all the entire rest of the afternoon. But I had no idea like what depression was
Right.
or anything. Like I just wasn't sheltered from it, but like I wasn't exposed to it.
I mean, also you're so young too. That's
Yeah,
really young.
and I didn't really know what that was. Like my idea of mental illness was like a cartoon character rocking back and forth in like a padded room, you know? And yeah, I was also a very angsty preteen. Like I would talk back to my parents all the time. Like I was not fun to be around.
Yeah.
And I always thought I was right, which I feel like every preteen kind of acts like that. And yeah, whenever I would get in trouble, I would like, you know, they would like take my Lego set away or something, and I would like fight it, and I would like talk back the entire time. And so then they'd be like,
A man was walking down the street with his friend to buy a newspaper. They came to the corner store where the man bought the paper every day. The clerk behind the counter was as unfriendly as can be, cold, inconsiderate, acted like the man was bothering him. The man bought the paper, smiled, and said, "I hope you have a great day." The clerk didn't even look up, didn't even acknowledge that he said anything. His friend said, "Man, what was wrong with that clerk? Is he always that rude?" The man said, "Every morning." The friend said, "Are you always that nice?" He said, "Every morning." The friend looked kind of puzzled and said, "Why?" The man said, "I've made up my mind. I'm not going to let another person ruin my day." He was saying, "I have my spare tire."
Yeah, you did.
Right as I said, I hate them. It just got really awkward in my room after I said that.
So first up, main character tries to scare a child into not playing in their own front yard, threatens that their parents will lose their homes. I met my first Karen today.
You're not supposed to play football in the yard.
who said?
We live in an HOA. We don't like the activity in the front yard. You're supposed to be playing in the backyard.
We don't have this in the UK, by the way, do we? A HOA.
No, we got the neighbourhood watch, and I'm on it.
I'm the doctor of it.
That's what?
If people are poorly, they come to see me. Come in, and I cast spells on them.
Oh, I know where that's going.
This makes me sound like a main character.
Not falling for that again.
Bend over. I'll fix you. Straight in.
That's not a spell, Arthur. That's not a spell.
This should hold for a few days.
It should hold.
No, but homeowners associations, they stop people doing like pretty much anything, and we don't have anything like it, which is why we get big ugly buildings everywhere here.
What, so they just walk around saying you can't do this, you can't do that?
Yeah, basically.
But 53% of you that listen to the show regularly haven't yet subscribed to the show. So could I ask you for a favor before we start? If you like the show and you like what we do here and you want to support us, the free, simple way that you can do just that is by hitting the subscribe button. And my commitment to you is if you do that, then I'll do everything in my power, me and my team, to make sure that this show is better for you every single week. We'll listen to your feedback, we'll find the guests that you want me to speak to, and we'll continue to do what we do. Thank you so much. Evie Poumpouras, when you think about the books that you've written, the content you produce, and all that you're fundamentally doing for people, in your own words, how do you summarize or define that? What is it that you think you're doing for people with the content, the books you've written, etc.?
It's a great question, and I don't know if I have a clear answer. I think about how am I serving other people? I always go back to that. I remember even when I wrote
Why are you attracted to a narcissist? Because you're attractive. And what I mean by attractive is you may be physically beautiful. It may be your physique. It may be your something you know. It may be your social status. It may be that you could do something for them. What's attractive to them may not be attractive to the rest of us. You're attractive to them because you're attractive, because you may have power of some kind in the world. When I say power, I don't mean like you're a leader. I mean, you're self-possessed. Many people who get into these relationships, we have this mistaken assumption that the people who get into these relationships are shrinking violets who have low self-esteem. Absolutely not. I've got to tell you, some of the people I've seen get into these relationships, I'm like, whoo, I should have your self-esteem. They're strong, and they know who they are, and they're saying, this thing dismantled me brick by brick. I was really well put together when I met this person, right? So this isn't about a person who doesn't have self-esteem. It can be, but it's definitely not an absolute.
How this might come from childhood trauma. I believe that these delays are really due to the childhood trauma issues of dissociation and hypervigilance. Childhood trauma survivors struggle with not fully being in their body and not being present in their emotions in real time. We tend to live in a cerebral kind of anxious place and a thinking place and maybe that's where they're quickly saying yes to things because we live in a little bit of an emergency, which will be on another issue coming up later. It might be due to that kind of energy we have going on. The hypervigilance, I believe, is when our inner child kind of goes, wait a minute, like this, was I just taken advantage of, or was I just let down again? Or perhaps some anger and sadness comes up later. Kids growing up in childhood trauma leave their emotional body. They go up into their heads and watch out for what the adults are doing or what the adults need. And we're not attuned with ourselves in what
how to win an argument. What are the things I should definitely not do?
So the big mistake most people make is don't do that.
This has always blown my mind a little bit. 53% of you that listen to the show regularly haven't yet subscribed to the show. So could I ask you for a favor before we start? If you like the show and you like what we do here and you want to support us, the free, simple way that you can do just that is by hitting the subscribe button. And my commitment to you is if you do that, then I'll do everything in my power, me and my team, to make sure that this show is better for you every single week. We'll listen to your feedback, we'll find the guests that you want me to speak to, and we'll continue to do what we do. Thank you so much. Chase Hughes, who are you and what is your mission?
I'm a behavior guy, behavior expert, and I think I've just set out to teach people that there is an entire world that other people can't really see, don't have access to.
You just being a nice person and praising someone could actually be what makes you attractive to them. So people may think, well, does that mean I have to stop being me? I'd say no. They may be attracted to you and you may be compelled for a minute. But the key is then to know how to get off the carousel before it starts going too fast.
Good answer. Good answer. I'm like, it makes a lot of sense. And again, it's not you.
It's not you.
It comes back to that, which I like. Walk me through the consistent, you talk about narcissism being consistent. Walk me through the consistent pattern of a narcissistic relationship so that anyone who's listening can, because I think like you're saying, a lot of us sometimes feel
every narcissistic person might be a little different, but it's usually physical attractiveness, status, praise. So you just being a nice person and praising someone could actually be what makes you attractive to them. So people may think, well, does that mean I have to stop being me? I'd say no. They may be attracted to you and you may be compelled for a minute. But the key is then to know how to get off the carousel before it starts going too fast.
Good answer. Good answer. I'm like, it makes a lot of sense. And again, it's not you.
It's not you.
It comes back to that, which I like. Walk me through the consistent, you talk about narcissism being consistent. Walk me through the consistent pattern.
In the last conversation also, we touched on a lot of topics we talked about seances. We talked about, mind reading, and you did live reading on me as well. And I was so, you were able to guess the name that I was thinking about at that time. So this time we thought about doing something one level deeper, because I was thinking that most of the people, especially when we talk about Gen Zs, they need dating advice. Now I'm not talking about, who to date, what time to date. We're not talking about that. What we really want to focus on, how to read people, how to read their intention, how to know whether you're dating a psychopath or not. So